Essentially, what we have is an application to strike out the claim and to lift the injunction. And I think the common ground is that if we did that on an interim basis, it would largely determine the claim itself. So instead of doing it in 2 stages, we decided to just agree that we would treat this matter now on the 13th as a trial of the claim. It either succeeds or it fails.
Success or failure for the Belize Bank Limited, which is seeking the collection of more than 54 million Belize dollars owed under arbitration, including interest for its role in the Universal Health Services transaction, depends on how Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin takes the view of the decision by fellow Supreme Court Justice Michelle Arana to grant the injunction on February 3rd, where the bank did not appear. As noted by attorney for the government Denys Barrow, they were seeking a U.S. court injunction to stop proceedings and did not succeed. The bank's attorney, Eamon Courtney, says they elected to concede this opening battle in the effort to win the war.
They did not appear because, unbeknownst to us, they were appearing at the same hour of the day in the United States, seeking to get the very same injunction granted by the U.S. against us that we, in a matter of minutes before, had gotten granted against them.
The situation then was, first of all, the short notice that was given. We didn't make a formal complaint about that. We felt that government wanted to proceed. Government felt it was urgent. It would be futile for us to have come to court and argue that it wasn't urgent. Government had put forward their reasons why they thought that was so. But we realized that once the injunction was granted, if the judge was persuaded to grant it, that you could apply to have it discharged. So rather than rush in there and have a fight about it when you're not fully prepared, the clients accepted, listen, if they get their injunction, they get their injunction, and in due course one would apply to have it discharged if there's a basis to do so, and that's what we're doing now.
It has been widely established that even if the injunction is lifted, the bank and BCB Holdings, among others, are limited by the U.S. Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act from attaching any of Belize's official reserves as opposed to the proceeds of commercial transactions. Courtney made the point that any attempt on the latter must require a court appearance. But the government, according to Barrow, takes a much narrower and more conservative view.
The judge in D.C. who granted the order, what is called a 1610 order, made the point that if any of these parties wanted to execute against any property of the government, it is not as if it could happen in the night and you woke up tomorrow and something is frozen. You would have to literally make a court application.
To each state.
Right, to each state, and the defendant would be given an opportunity to defend and represent themselves. I think the operations of the government of Belize are public. Everybody knows the type of activities the government is involved in. As far as I know, there are no secret accounts or secret activities anywhere. So I think the government, in fact, I'll be more specific. My understanding is that in the U.S. proceedings, there was interrogatories and disclosures where the government was specifically asked, where are all their assets, where is all their money, etc., and the government has disclosed that. So it's very clear to everybody what's available for execution or attachment, and the question of the government's reserve being at risk just doesn't arise. It's a red herring.
So you are not prepared to concede that according to the opposition, they are not cannot pursue Belize's foreign reserves, whether abroad or otherwise, under the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act?
I don't know about that position at all. They have gotten an order in the United States which allows them to pursue any assets which Belize has in the States. They have gotten that order already. What we have succeeded in doing is to prevent them from taking it any step further, but they have an enforcement authorization granted by the U.S. courts already.
The battle rages on. Will March 13th be the end or another beginning? Aaron Humes reporting for News 5.